obscure, to the point of unpleasant,
unacceptable,
uninspiring, unpunishable,
irrelevant,
irreverent, irreligious,
unrepentant,
dislike, dislocate,
disembodied,
deconstruct.
I don't imagine, clearly, that a single soul could, would, should, or will, and if they did, I don't think, clearly, that another soul, a soul like mine, could, would, should, or will.
Irrespective.
I know what I'm doing all too well. No native speaker.
Irrational.
Irreducible.
Irredeemable.
Unrecognisable. Derailed.
Deranged.
Deformed. Freeform.
Obscure. To the point of
true, right, correct, each, every, all. Drowning in a sea of logic. This monstrous speech of palsy. Still ill.
Okay. Want to take me through it?
We chose this scene because it's more of a difficult one to do, we found, but it gave us a chance to show what's actually going through her mind, physically.
How does it do that?
The constant repetition of words and the fact that it gets louder and louder shows that it puts her more and more as her mind repeats.
Okay, so she's constantly going over it. It's going over again and again, repeats in her head, and it gets louder and louder. And how does that, tell me through the physicalisation of how you make that obvious to us then towards the end?
To begin with, we kept still, didn't we? And that was to show like the steadiness of her trying to sort through it as best as she can. She's sorting through the words, she's sorting through the phrases, she keeps going, keeps going. And then eventually she stands up when they're saying all like irrational and unrecognisable and stuff like that. She comes to the middle, and then the doctor says her line, and then she's like, just like breaks because she doesn't want, she thinks everything needs to be perfect in life, and she's not that, so she just breaks out and says true, right, correct, each, every, all, and then she realises every time she like shouts out, she realises what she says in her head, and then she's like, oh, and then they're saying like she's like alienated and that she's still ill, and she falls to the floor, like realising she's still ill.
I think it's the fact that her mind and the doctor are saying that she feels as though everyone's against her.
And it's kind of like she's trying to fight off the thoughts of her mind, because she knows that it's her mind that's slowly sending her insane, that's making her ill. And it's like a point throughout the play that's repeated several times that she doesn't actually personally think she's ill, but it's her mind that's making her this way, and she's trying to fight against it.
Yeah, I think I like all that. I think the thing to take this forward is to be aware that the mind is aware of the doctor's existence. The doctor isn't aware, or is trying to treat the mind, but can't hear, or isn't aware that it's a physical entity. So although sometimes they come together like in there, they're both parallel and they're repeating the same thing. The only person who is conscious of everyone's existence is the patient. And that needs to be explored in the fact that the more the doctor says that it's echoed and re-echoed, how does that work? That it's echoed in the mind, they don't realise that what they're doing is they're exacerbating the situation. You show that quite nicely there, but that needs to be more sort of endemic and within the piece that becomes obvious to the audience. Yeah? Nice piece of work though, I like that. Good. Thank you. Right, good. See?